What's up, everyone? Week 12.
Yeah, our Minnesota garden tour in our Back to Eden garden.
Everything is just growing so well, but unfortunately this is the time where it gets so hot and the end of summer. This is really like the end of summer.
Yeah.
Where everything 12. Starts dying off. Yeah, week 12, end of summer.
That means we've been doing this for 3 months. It's hard to believe. It feels like our garden just started growing.
Yeah, can't believe we're at the end of it. But we did, so up front, all the flowers are dying off slowly and not doing so well anymore, but we just had a recent heat spell, so that's part of it, and it's coming to the end for them, so that's a bummer.
We do have some new flowers popping up though. So
there
was quite a variety of flowers in that wildflower mix, so it's kind of cool to see that.
Yep.
Did you see this flower popping up in the middle of the yard?
Volunteer sunflower. It's got multiple heads on it.
It does. It looks like the birds must have planted this one for us, but I think it's going to look really cool, but it's in an odd spot.
And as you can see, these flowers are just taking over my yard. But the marigolds, I have never seen them this tall, this bushy, and just lush. So that's pretty cool.
So it's exciting to see that little bloom finally on our Italian heirloom tomato that we planned on saving seeds from. I'm hoping we get at least one really good pure tomato for seeds. We probably will still save some from our garden just so we have them. But it's exciting to see that.
All right, let's go check out the garden.
Look at all this dill.
We've got some stuff growing in the greenhouse very, very well already. Let's go take a look. So we got some red onions growing. Like I said, we're going to try those through the winter. We don't know how well it's going to do, if they will do well or not. The atomic red carrots, they've come up. Only a couple, but they've come up. Now the peppers, these are the ones that I had chopped some of these, and we're trying to keep them so they're short and see if they'll make peppers as short plants. And this one here was already too big, so I didn't chop this one, but this one's got little flowers on it already, so we'll just leave it go. And then the radishes, I just love me my radishes. Radishes are good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
My boy Evan and I just love them. Plus the greens, we love them we love them in our eggs in the morning. It's really good. Adds a lot of flavor. And then we'll fry some of the radishes up too, and it works pretty good. This tomato plant though, wowzers. And this is tall. So, and we got tomatoes growing on it. So that's a cool thing. You know, it's gonna be a big plant. I don't know how I'm gonna get this one through winter yet, because it's so tall. But hey, try it. And then we got these peppers down here, which has little bell peppers on them already, and a bunch of flowers. And it's just growing so tall. It's like a tree. Just crazy. I've never had a pepper plant that big, but it is loaded with peppers. Way more than one in the garden. And then we have cabbage. We got a cabbage back there, and we got the radishes that went to seed, so that's doing very good. And we have the carrots, and we picked a carrot, but they're all pretty short yet, so if nothing else, we can use the greens and we'll have little short carrots.
So we've been gone for a few days, and I noticed our celery microgreen seeds that we had planted here have a little bit of like a white cloudiness on them, and I'm not sure what that is. I haven't gotten a chance to really look into it much, but some of those ones that we planted are already turning into some good sized celery, so that's exciting. We've used a little bit as microgreens for tops of salads and things, but I'm hoping to get some actual celery this winter in here. That would be really great. Our kohlrabi, we thought it was going to do awful. All those cabbage worms, I think 227, something like that.
227.
A lot of cabbage worms came off of these. You can tell they're just, the leaves are decimated. But we're finally getting some good sized kohlrabi. So We're hoping to fry those up soon. And then our bush beans, they came up. All but one of the plants the seeds that I planted came up. So they are growing in a row here. They may look really close together, but I did use a measuring tape and measured them when I planted. Not to say they aren't close together, but I followed the directions on the package. So we'll see how those turn out. Our pumpkin patch is doing so well. We have lots of green pumpkins, some that are yellow already, some that are turning orange. Hopefully they don't turn too soon, but like we said before, some pumpkin pie is never a bad idea. So this is really exciting to see. Do you see that pie pumpkin? It is full-blown orange. I guess we are having pumpkin pie soon. Hopefully we get some big pumpkins that wait a little while so the kids can carve some for Halloween. We've also got at least a dozen little baby watermelons coming in. We don't usually do the greatest with watermelon, but it's still fun to grow, fun for the kids to have their own little watermelons to eat. I think this might be our very last cucumber growing. It is a perfect size, it looks perfect, but it looks like we've got about one plant left and the little cucumbers on it are yellowing. The rest have pretty much died away. We still have a couple bushy cucumbers going, but these are the ones we really like.
The strawberries are just going crazy.
I love how you just find them just kind of moving around.
Week 12, 2020, sunflowers.
So despite having, oh, that was a snake. It was a wood chip. Let's try that again, Matt. So despite having a lot of storms and even a mole who is trying to get into our potatoes, we still have some healthy potato looking plants here. We do have a little bit of dieback, and if you remember, I planted both some determinate and indeterminate potatoes here, so we're gonna have that. I'm hoping to pull them all at the same time. We usually dig potatoes one of the very last things we pull from the garden, so we'll see how it goes this year. It is really hard to get peppers here in Minnesota that are not green, that actually turn red. So it's really exciting to see this pepper turning red, but I noticed there's a teeny little spot on it, so I'm hoping it doesn't get damaged before it fully ripens.
So our lunchbox peppers right here are growing really well, and there's a ton of little peppers on them, and they've just starting to really pop. And there's only a couple more flowers on them, so I'm hoping we get a good bag or two full so we can put them in the freezer. Our kids love them to eat them raw, so the more we can put away in the freezer, the better we are. So when we were gone on our little vacation last weekend, all the tomatillos just fell over. Anything that wasn't, you know, or anything that was over the cages, it tipped over and they cracked and tops basically came off. We had a really bad storm come through this area when we were gone, and it didn't hurt too many things in our garden, but it definitely hurt the tomatillos and it bent them all over. So we have a lot of yellow ones on the ground, which is unfortunate, but we still have plenty of them, and I think they're just so cool looking because it's like little lanterns. So when we were gone, we had someone come by and plant us this special apple tree. If you guys can figure out what the name of this apple tree is, put it in the comments down below. That was pretty funny. The storm blew down a couple of the sunflowers and one of them landed right in the apple tree. And the kids were laughing about it yesterday.
I don't think zucchinis are supposed to look like that. Maybe it's overripe, maybe we can collect seeds from it. I'll have to do some research and figure that out.
We just found a couple tomatoes on the ground, so we always throw them over to the compost and making dinos. They're just going nuts for it. That's one good thing about having the chickens next to the garden is we make so much compost, and it's been our yard from when we got it was just a bunch of dips and holes and just terrible, and I've been adding them some in there, but then we've also been using it and putting it in our garden, and that's what's been helping so much. And it's high in nitrogen, so it's also a good fertilizer. And then we got all of our tomatoes. Do you see all that? They are just doing awesome, and we are getting a bunch more. We froze a ton of them before we even went on vacation, and now it looks like I could probably pick another bowl and I can make more salsa like I did the other day, like this. It was such a good salsa, and I just love fresh salsa like that. But we have more and more tomatoes. Now pretty much everything on this side of the garden is all done and picked and pulled and all done for the year. And even, do you remember the bee house? Leroy's little bee house? They have all hatched and have gone and pollinated for us. There isn't a single one plugged anymore. What you doing, Sarah?
Oh, welcome to my bean jungle. Our pole beans, they're in. We've been pulling off of them, making some beans for supper here and there. And today is no different. There are a whole bunch ready to be picked. Do you see these? Our little cayennes finally have peppers on them. Thanks for watching. If you liked this content, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this and our homesteading journey, be sure to click that subscribe button down below.
Glad you got to see us again.